Alright, everything's up and running. Welcome everyone, I'm Dollar Free. And welcome to the final part of El Paso Elsewhere. I guess before I begin, there's a couple of things I want to briefly talk about. Number one is probably first of all the title. I mulled about the title for quite a while last week, thinking about what I wanted to put for the final part. The word hurt sounds like a bit of an unusual word to use. It's not typically what you might associate when trying to deal with the situation that is presented in the game. One might more typically use the word pain, and pain still works in the title. I think maybe I settled on hurt because I wasn't too sold on the word pain. I think pain invokes more of a in the sentence, in the context, it might have invoked more of a physical pain. And certainly in the game, we start seeing that James's character model in the cutscenes becomes more and more beat up. Cuts, bruises, stuff like that. There's also the mental pain. But the thing is, I don't think the mental pain is as much of a pain as it is a mental hurting. It hurts to have to think about what James had to do in order to try and escape a situation, what he had to try and do to survive. And it hurt James to get him to... James hurt himself in a way to try and escape from that situation and deal with the consequences. I think the word hurt implies more of a active presence of what James has done to himself as much as what Draculae has done to him. And that's why I settled on the word hurt. I think maybe the second thing I just want to bring up is that I still really do think this game, in terms of a gameplay, it's still reasonably okay. Like, every level's gone by pretty quickly. Everything's gone by reasonably quickly, even if some of the levels don't matter. Still, I think this game's always worth it. This scene's like...
Love you too. We're really gonna kill each other, aren't we?
Like, that scene, as short as it is, it's fantastic for continuing to set the mood. James is on the floor. You see the scars on his head, the blood on his shirt. He's completely gassed. Completely and utterly gassed. On the other hand, Draculae is also using an Egyptian sickle.
I don't think the light outside has been blue before.
Yeah, so Draculae was wielding a sickle, similar to what Jade was wielding before.
And there's the drop. Draculae doesn't have to kill me if the void strands me in space first.
Yeah, so the connection between Draculae maybe possibly seeking revenge for what happened to her mentor, but realizing it may not be worth it at that time. Ow. couple more explosives. Always helpful. This level's a bit of a... This level's one more again that sort of...
That's just mean.
It fits into the pile of levels where I think it's just like more showing off rather than adding value. Okay, how are we looking? Oh, darn it. Hello, Martin. Hello. Thanks for stopping by.
That's just mean.
How you doing today? Yeah, there's no good explanation for why the game has jumped into the void of all things. But, oh, hold on. Otherwise, how have you been doing? Also, just to let you know, in case you missed it, I did manage to beat the Godskins. Ooh, hold on. Why is the game audio playing up like this? Alright. Okay, good. We are clear. Finally. Oi. I don't know why the game's playing like this. So yeah, I beat the Godskin duo. Surprisingly enough, the Godskin duo, after changing up the armor and stuff like that,
Fuck, did I end up here, man?
ooh, got a little easier, but not too much progress otherwise.
Again with the fucking meat.
Ooh, hold on. The audio is crackling up something fierce. I don't usually have problems with this level. This is a bit unusual. I think it's having some issues because... I'm struggling enough with Farum Azula already. Also, the chat is back and working again for some reason. Yeah. Farum Azula is actually like really a pain in the behind. Everything just seems to want to kill me in like a couple of hits. I'm in an area at the moment. I don't know if I'm going the right way or not. But it's like there's a bunch of undead rats and there's like ooh. Hold on. There's a couple of big rats and a couple of undead smaller rats with weapons. And it's just... oh, they all hit so hard. There we go. Yeah, the game... Elden Ring seems to have this little thing about wanting to just kill you all the time. And I'm starting to get a bit annoyed with it, to be honest. Like, I really am starting to get a bit annoyed with how everything
Gotta
just wants to
stag.
kill you so much. I also, you know, the DLC is apparently coming out towards the end of the month. So that might be a good opportunity
Yeah,
to
that's
just...
a meaty cube.
Oh, come on, game audio.
Oblong.
I'm going to have to restart after this level. This is definitely not normal. I think the game started suffering issues after trying to load the checkpoints. This is one of the problems definitely with El Paso Elsewhere as a game. It doesn't handle lag very well. I think it's something to do with the lighting engine possibly is a problem. Yeah, I think it just doesn't like handling the lighting at times. And then it causes issues with the sound. You actually have far less issues with this game if you play without the music, as kind of sad as that is. But the music's really nice. So it's a shame to play the game without the music. Alright, I think the level's almost done though. We just cross across here, go through the doorway, and I believe the elevator's just on the other side. And then I'm going to restart the
I'd have to go
game.
inside of the meat oblong thing.
Oh,
Thank God.
yep, right there. Didn't think I'd have issues on this level. I know I'm going to have issues on one more level at the very least.
I'm not sure I know what you're getting at.
I'm going to just skip this cutscene because I'm planning on restarting the game soon. Phase 2, and when it gets Phase 2, we'll have a bunch of mobility, black flames. Oh, I do not want to know the HP either. Let me just... like, finding out that the fire giant... I'm just restarting the game, by the way. Finding out that fire giant had a huge amount of EXP, like the amount that it did, and then, you know, Godskin having as much as it did as well. Oh, that's frustrating. That was like... I don't know if it's so much like bigger number, better mindset mentality. I think the bigger mindset, or the bigger number, better mindset is just a bit of a problem, actually. I'll also pass on that one as well. Alright, game should be back up and running. Oh, hold on. Okay, fingers crossed, no more audio issues for a little while. Yeah, I don't want to know the name of the boss.
Your blood sounds wrong. It's slow.
Well, I've been taking a lot of pills.
This isn't the first time.
I was afraid of you finding me again, so I tried uppers to stay awake. Only traveled during the day. Then I tried downers to get away from myself or edge towards sleep. And I'd balance them. Up and down, up and down. I've had a lot of practice at this point. Probably would have died if I didn't.
If you stop me, you won't be able to leave this place. You're going to die.
I think that's the only way it works. One-way trip.
You deserve better than that, James.
I didn't believe that for a very long time.
No. That isn't my fault.
Yes. It is.
Sorry, I just wanted to let the cutscene play out there, right at the end. That very important last section. Dracula going, "What happened to you was not my fault," and James just bluntly going, "Yes, it is." One of the things that happens when you're dealing with... what happens when you're like... Hold on.
If you're still worried, Dracula, maybe you should stick less of your pets on me.
Yeah, when you're dealing with interactions between people who are perpetrators of domestic violence and victims of domestic violence, or just perpetrators in general, one of the things is a lack of self-awareness,
You know, she isn't steering the ship, only opening the door for it.
attention, or, you know, willingness to
shouldn't
accept
get to worry
responsibility for
about
those
me.
actions.
Not now, not down here.
It's like very blunt when someone says, hey, what happened to you is not my fault. And it's like, yeah, but you're the perpetrator. You did it. Okay. As for the next stream schedule, I always put them up on the next day after... Hold up. Puppeteers, got it. I always put them up the next day after the last stream of the week. So, in other words, it's going to go up tomorrow. Launcher reload. Cool stock. Ooh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so the stream schedule will go up. I've still got to think about as well I've got to think about what game I want to put on Saturday. I've got some ideas in mind. Come on, teleport.
Nice garden if you want dysentery.
There we go. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Ow! Bloody puppeteers. I'm out of stakes as well. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I was gonna die there. Bloody pup. I feel like there were 2 puppeteers in that section. That is a problem and a half. Ooh, hold on. I'm actually gonna have to turn off the music settings. Let me try turning off the music settings.
Oh no. Who's gonna save you?
Yes, something is really going on here today. El Paso is not liking this.
Nice garden if you want dysentery.
No, this is problematic. I'm not sure why I'm having so many issues with the audio. Definitely something's going wrong. Audio, auto reload. FOV is not the issue. It's usually related to sound. Oh, I'm gonna have to restart again. No. Because the problem again with this game, the one technical issue is that the problems with the audio and the sound delay persist between levels and they persist between save files until you restart. So you could play, hit the audio issues on one level, hit audio issues on one level or some slowdown issues on the level, and then that's it. That'll keep persisting even if you start a new game or you do something else until you close out of the game. I do not get what goes on sometimes with this game. It's probably the most frustrating thing.
If you're still worried, Dracula, maybe you should stick less of your pets on me. That isn't fair. I know she isn't steering the ship, only opening the door for it. But she shouldn't get to worry about me. Not now, not down here.
I want to
Huh.
Suck that, vampires.
Okay, yeah, definitely I think turning off the audio on these levels is going to be helpful. As much as it's a shame. I think on some of the levels I should be fine, though, to turn it on.
These meat racks aren't treated, it looks like. Bare metal. They're corroding.
Thank God.
Okay. Yeah, definitely when you...
Always need ammo.
Alright, if I can find another steak, I'll be alright. Well, another one other than this. Ah.
Please don't hurt me.
There we are. Finally. Puppeteer's down.
I can't die. Not here.
Always need ammo.
So we're going back again this way. Now.
Thank you.
Nice
Okay.
garden if you want dysentery.
Alright. Here we go, puppets. Yeah, something was clearly going on as well with the puppets. There were way too many puppets being spawned for one puppeteer. Come on, I hit you a good couple of times. There we go. But a puppeteer on their own without any puppets is... Ooh, hold on. Yeah, see, there's something else over here.
Stay.
Too many angels. Take one of them out. Oh, yeah, that opens up this way. But that's back to sort of where we came in from. Okay. Excuse me. I don't know why there was a mummy in the elevator.
There's something wrong with my blood. Darkolay's right about that. At least. It's crawling and lurching through my veins like a dancer off balance. My brain says I've been here 2 weeks, but my body is playing the same steady message. It says I'm dying. Fast. I may not even reach the bottom. If I die before then, I don't know what this was all for. And if I try to kill Darkolay, when she still hasn't laid a finger on me, I won't be able to live with myself for the time I have left. I wish the thing I am was stronger.
Alright.
I think I figured out where all that meat locker stuff is coming from, by the way. The metal, the machinery, it's from the 30s. World War II America, rise of mass industrialization. What represents that more than the food industry?
Ah. Man, and I'm back to the start again. I didn't even hit a
I think I
checkpoint.
figured out where all that meat locker stuff is coming from, by the way. The metal, the machinery, it's from the 30s. Man, I'm good.
That's the first time I've seen a Molotov actually up on the walls. Alright. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Keeping an eye on things with the game frame rates and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. Oh.
World War II America, rise of mass industrialization. What represents that more than the food industry?
I'm actually trying to figure my way around here. Huh, and another heart, but it doesn't do anything. That's just decoration. Oh.
I'll go.
Okay. Oh no, it's bro, this is bad. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. If this persists... Okay, I've never had a Paso elsewhere go as bad as this. And this is without sound. Maybe the game's just constantly trying to freak out because of the streaming side. But... like, when I was recording my footage, this was not an issue. Like, I have recorded full runs of this game when I was doing the El Paso video. And it was never this bad. Like... hold on, you can see I'm stuck on steak mode. There we are. Finally out.
So, Drake becomes Dracule, which becomes Dracule. If I have that right. I'm not sure if I should bring this up, but Dracula. How do you feel about him?
It's nice getting to watch yourself be remembered. I'm one of the classic monsters, you know? And I was proud that my actions and status were not connected to my sex. If everyone thought I was a man, then I had transcended being a woman. No one would suspect it was me. It kept me safe.
How do you feel about it now?
Different. Not worse, but different.
Yeah, the name changing
I
there.
can use this.
Oh, this is... this is problematic. I don't know if I've still even got my old footage. Theoretically, I might. Like, if this is bad, then I might just go to the old footage that I have if I can find it. Yeah, because this is...
Gotcha.
oh, yeah, no. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let me have a look in my folder, see if I can pull up some old footage. I think I might still have something. Theoretically, this might work. Okay. All right. I think I found something. I just need to cross-reference with the levels. This is pretty bad. And I do apologize. I do not have an explanation for why this is the case. Why El Paso is continually doing what it is doing. Let me just cross-reference the levels. Because I'm on level 40 on this one. I don't know if this is going to work. This might work. This might work. Let me go add. Window capture. Okay, that's starting to come up. So I'll just briefly explain. Let me get a blank background as well for this. There we go. All right. Impromptu time. So let me see if this works. I'll briefly explain. So where I was in the game was up to level 40. This is footage from, actually from level 42. Level 42 onwards. I don't think there's too much that actually happens in level 41's cutscene. And then there's nothing that happens in level 42. Not every game, not every level has a cutscene. But let me see.
Can't carry more.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm using some of the old pre-recorded footage here. So what happens here is that... And you can see it's a lot smoother than I'm not. Admittedly, the footage here is like 720p. But it's better than nothing, really. Actually, one might argue that 720p is worse than nothing. But I do need some way of explaining what happens in this game. So...
Killing you would feel different. Why didn't I just tell her that I don't want to do this? I wish we could both fucking stop.
Okay, so there was a cutscene there where they confront each other, and it's like, no, you don't exactly have to do this. Why are we doing that? Like, James, you kill monsters. How would you feel about killing me? He goes, yeah, it would be different. Part of James still has some... Oh, it's not necessarily attraction. It's... And I don't know if you'd call it affection. But it's like a longing, like a desire that they could both basically move on, have a better life. But that won't happen. Dracula is way in too deep already at this point. I might just turn down the audio fraction. So the levels start blending really here together. We're starting to get elements from the meat locker. We're starting to get elements from the graveyards, the castle, the hotel. It all starts really blurring together into this one gigantic mishmash of warped, void-born level design.
Closeness. I miss it when it's gone.
Yeah, and you can see there's a whole bunch of enemies being thrown. We're getting everything at this stage. Yeah, thankfully... Yeah, when you record it, the music works fine. Except for like 1 or 2 levels, I believe. Certainly the level with the expanding hallways is the biggest one. Biggest offender. Even when I play that casually, that's a terrible level in terms of what it does for the game.
It's the comfort of being suffocated. Person's lips. And vice versa. Interview 38. The disappearance. Eyes the size of dinner plates. Can you even hear this? I know that time is difficult and I don't mean to brag, but I need to know if you just watched your friends and family die. It was an accident. There's a theory going. We don't think you did it. There's no way of knowing. The unblinking
Yeah,
red light
missing the
means
grenade
you're
launcher shot is
exposed, means you're raw,
pain.
means you're on the record. Can you say?
I see that it's inside you. 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 I see that it's
Gotcha.
I see that it's inside you. Inside you. Inside you. I see that it's
Yeah, I'm still also not sure what actually causes the issues with puppeteers. I don't like when they spawn so many enemies. Yep. And here I am going complaining about my deaths in this stage, even though it's pre-recorded. Yeah, I don't know what exactly causes the puppeteers to spawn so many enemies when the game freaks out.
Damn near nada. Filing nothing. We don't tell a single person that it's justice.
I
You
think
and me.
the puppeteers are set actually to spawn a puppet
Pressure shaping.
every... I don't know if it's meant to be every couple of frames or if it's meant to be on the seconds. Like every second a puppet gets spawned.
Imagine that supernatured aristocracy, a truth echoed by the senses eternally. When I do the work,
But when the game starts slowing down, something clearly goes wrong, and the amount of puppets just can either really blow out. So I think it might be tied to like frames, and what happens is if the puppets spawn on every couple of frames, but the frames continually get skipped, you end up with this loop where it's like puppets just spawn way faster than what can be handled.
I was fucking good at it. And I don't get to feel that way anymore.
Yeah, so normally puppets are fine, but
I can't die. Not here. I'm free.
alright, well, that's the end of the level there. I'm trying to think. If this is level 42, I don't... Yeah, even there you can start seeing a little bit of a slowdown, but the lift's right there, so you can move on.
Is this the part where you stop me?
No. I'm seeing you off. You are almost at the bottom. If you live long enough, we will see each other then. Confront each other then.
What is this, Dracula?
A goodbye.
True to form, though, until you get to the very bottom, that's the last time James and Dracula interact. And we're back at the mansion again. Oh, mind you, it is... It's always satisfying to be able to just bop a knight with a shotgun and watch it go flying. Like, absolutely flying. Like sometimes the
I've
physics
actually
does
seen that
weird
girl
things.
before. Duck my head in her room. On a desk, tucked away.
Yeah, sometimes the physics does weird things.
That's a cool action figure.
And then sometimes it just does some funny things, but mostly with the knights. The knights are the only thing that really have really funny physics. I'm not actually sure why the knights have such funny physics, actually. Every other enemy kind of just flops. And even if you shoot them with the shotgun, most things don't go flying in the way that knights do. But knights are the only ones that go wildly all over the place. Okay. Unfortunately, this is one of the hostage rescue levels. I'm trying to think. From the remaining couple of levels, there's only...
Wonder if she's still watching me.
I'm going to say there's maybe this level, which is 43 plus
It would make sense for her to
maybe
find some way to
4
look over my
more
shoulder.
levels.
I'm the only obstacle left, right? Last piece of baggage.
Yeah, I think there's maybe 4 levels,
Amazing.
including this, which are hostage based.
So damn vampires.
But it's really nice to be able to play with the music on, or at least watch the footage. Yeah, puppeteers hiding in the corner. The AI is the worst.
Another one down.
Okay. I was just listening to the instrumental track there. This track's actually like bringing back some solid memories. In terms of the balance in the music tracks. Okay, so there are about... I think I want to say there's maybe about 12 tracks with vocals in this game. And there are about... I don't know, 50 or 60 varying tracks with just instrumentals. The tracks are all a little bit hit and miss depending on how much you like a particular thing or not. Yeah, so if you're not a huge fan of certain types of sounds or styles, not every track's going to resonate with you, and that's entirely fair. Like, back very early on, there's a song called Breaking the Mainframe. This is one of the very early levels. No, Ghost in the Mainframe is what it's called. Sorry, I'm getting the first name muddled up with the other song which starts with the word break. That song I'm not a huge fan of, and Ghost in the Mainframe I think is okay. When I talked about it though in the last stream, I do like Human Sunday. I think Human Sunday is a... Oh yeah, you start getting chased here by... Start getting chased by a big guy, but you can always just make it to the exit. Unfortunately, the angels are really good. Oh yeah, get slapped there. I think on this one, I just either focus on just killing everything immediately up front. Yeah, I do. Take out the angels first. And then let the big guy come in. Because the big guy is easy enough to handle. Yeah, ghosting the mainframe is... like, okay. Human Sunday definitely rates up there. The track that we heard in the previous level is actually, I think it's called Interview 38. And Interview 38 is another one I find okay. There's a lot of hip-hop in El Paso Elsewhere's soundtrack. And it's not necessarily for everyone, but that's fine.
I'm not codependent. You're codependent. Shut up.
But the instrumental tracks are where things really shine, because they venture out away from hip-hop
Fucking fire in the sky.
into all sorts of other little genres of sorts. Yeah, these tiny little corridors. I don't think El Paso does as well when there are tiny little corridors. Again, okay. So, in terms of like level design, the levels with the little corridors are not that great because there's a lot of things that enemies can do to hit you, but you can't hit them. And enemies still do like a lot of damage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of have a thought. I really wish that all the enemies had physics like the knights. When you shot them, they just go flying. Yeah, trying to confirm which way the two hostages are.
Suck that, vampires.
It's blocking my shot skin.
I want to live.
I don't think she's watching me.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Finally out of the tiny...
I'm gonna assume this is an open invite.
Yeah, we're finally out of the... I think that's the last of the ancient Egyptian themed levels. No, actually, no, that's not quite right. Not quite right. It's the last of the inside of the ancient Egyptian levels. And in terms of the... I remember what the level I think is missing. Level 41. Level 41's actually quite interesting, if I'm recalling it correctly. I'll talk about it a bit closer on once I confirm it's not one of the remaining couple of levels. But level 41's got a very interesting thing that I want to talk about afterwards. If it's the one that I'm thinking about. Yeah, all of this footage that was captured. This is all footage that I'd captured of a... So I captured a couple of runs of El Paso elsewhere.
He's losing its mind.
A couple of them. And that was mostly because I wanted a variety of footage,
Back down here.
even from different levels, about some of the things that went on in the game. So I'd captured footage from all the levels. A lot of the footage I ended up deciding I was going to use was based on...
There's two forces here.
Typically when you first encounter a stage, or stages where there's like important bits of...
It all ends.
important recordings,
Oh God, it all ends.
those ones I typically used a lot of. So this footage would not have made it into the final version, even though I'd captured it. I will say though, after going and doing all the recordings and everything else that I'd done, I did learn a little bit about trying to make sure that your recordings are of a half-decent quality. Again, 780p is not fantastic. It was okay in the context of the video that I was making because the video content itself was almost secondary, but I knew it would have caused issues at 1080p. Still, it was a pretty clean run, all things considered. My first round of footage, I spent like, I don't know, maybe 7 hours trying to capture the game footage. Like, that's playing through all the levels.
I've got a mother out there. We don't talk. I don't talk to anyone. All I talked to was her.
Yeah, I've got a couple of ideas actually where I would like to do some things involving pre-recorded footage, but part of it comes down to making sure the footage matches what's actually captured in the game. It's also one of the reasons why
Ammo.
whenever I'm capturing a game, there's footage that you can capture at 1080p. And sometimes the game is very good at being able to do that. Actually, a lot of games are very good at enabling you to capture footage at 1080p without too many issues. So for me, for example, I capture my footage in... When I'm streaming, I stream games in windowed mode. Windowed mode is actually really good because it allows me to... Oh yeah, and there's no hostages here. Windowed mode is really good because it allows you to move the game off screen, or off your main screen. I use one main screen, one side screen. And if you're using multiple monitors... Oh, no, I think this is the level with the interesting gimmick. This is the one. I don't need to talk about it afterwards.
That one is different.
Lone Gunman. This level has one thing that only exists in this level and happens nowhere else, never comes up again.
And unusually stocked pantry.
And in a way, doesn't really get a lot of explanation. I'm still not entirely sure why the gimmick in this level exists, but it makes things very interesting regardless. It does leave a little bit, you know, it makes you think, makes you ponder. Whether it offers value to the game or to the story, bit harder to say. But the gimmick is certainly not an unwelcome one. That will always be fun. It will never get old. I also think, though, this is the last of the meat locker levels.
I'll go.
Yeah, I think this is the last of the meat locker levels. I don't think the next one is a meat locker level. Or at least I don't think it
I'll be
is.
honest, I don't think this meat is edible.
Maybe there is one more meat locker level after this. Because I don't recall there being a hotel level at this stage. Okay, yeah. Just trying to think, remind myself. Yeah, I think there's one more. Actually, there might be one more hotel-esque room. Ah, here's the gimmick. What is
Still not even a harsh word. I really hope we're on the same side.
what is the green ghost? It only pops up in this level. Yeah, I think there's one more hotel-esque level.
Another 14
There's-
people, all gone. Abducted, murdered. We don't know. And the police still couldn't catch them?
Yeah, this is the other little gimmick.
There were traces, tons of them. Signs of struggle, blood, muscle tissue.
It's just that every time the police tried to follow a lead, it would turn up a dead end. Wow. Yeah. It was a series of cauterized wounds, but for evidence.
Yeah, this is actually a play on those true crime podcasts. So this level's actually got that fun gimmick.
We're gonna take a couple minutes to tell you how you can stop your time from losing out by building your website with Winsight.
The joke isn't in the best taste, but the show is good. This episode, it's one of the things that led me here.
Yeah, I mean, it's played off in game as, hey, James was listening to this, so it's from his memories. But the way the show's structured is like, it is very much a play on those true crime podcasts. No, your sit-at-home couch detective style thing.
Save the rest.
We're gonna solve this unsolved case, or talk about it,
Okay. Lead on.
or at the very least, make a couple of 100-episode podcast about varying cases that have existed. I find true crime podcasts to be quite disturbing, actually. Now, here we go with the other part of the gimmick. So we have a boss, 4 health bars, but you just saw there. The green ghost is actually similar to the other teleporting, I guess, the other teleporting female ghosts. In the sense that, oh, jeez, yeah. I think I got hit there by a zombie in the back. I can't remember what the actual name of those female mummies are. I don't really want to call them mistresses, because I don't think that's the right word. But the fact that this one is green, and it's very clearly hostile to... It's actually hostile to, like, everyone else. Except for you. There's no explanation given as to why this one female ghost is friendly to you, hostile to everyone else. And it doesn't really get explored as a topic. But it is helping you. It's funny in a way because
I guess I did see you. Thanks.
the female, and that's a throwback to when the level after you first encounter the female ghosts. The female ghosts,
I keep expecting her to come back and say one more thing. She was wearing a suit. It was a suit I'd seen before, a classic suit. Her hair was different, long fingers. She always looked good in a suit. You look at a piece of fabric sometimes and know exactly what it feels like between your finger and your thumb. Now she's cold and you're standing next to her. If you're close enough, even through the clothes, and fuck me. I miss her. I miss my monster.
there's still some longing, still some hurt. Yeah, back to the female ghost. The game implies, in a way,
Get together, James. One more time.
that the female ghosts are tied to... Well, Dracula may not have made the female ghosts here. They could have potentially been made by Jade. Though, that's not established. That's purely my own conjecture. Oh yeah, and this is Monster Club.
Really made this place grow some feet.
And the whole thing is set up like a club. There's your bartender, there are people out on the floors. Yeah, but the implication of who's responsible for creating what? Maybe the Void just did, but then it doesn't explain why one of them, only a single one, is friendly to James. Yeah, this is me checking for the puppeteer.
Could have been anyone down here. I'm not kidding. It's me. Monster Club. Sure. It's perfect. Sacrifice. Because this is a love story.
Yeah, and that's James really starting to move on, except that things are what they are. It had to be him that comes down here to confront Dracula. No one else would have been able to. Not because they're more capable. Not because they're, James is the most capable. But because he's the one who understands Dracula the most. He has that connection. And that connection both creates an opportunity to understand Dracula, but an opportunity to guide him to her.
Don't need more.
Yeah, I think this... Yeah, Monster Club is just meant to be like... Hey, congratulations. We're just going to start showing off at this stage. Yep, and the final battle arena before the end of the level.
There we go, all those beautiful puppeteers, because my trauma's down here too.
Yeah, so the puppeteers come from James's memory. The big things are unclear. It could just be void-formed monsters.
Nigga really made this place grow some feet. Baba Yaga transform and beat. Building tries and leads to the shroom as new beast finds new hungers to treat.
I don't remember why I don't heal at this stage.
We not getting out of this monster club, baby. We not getting out of this monster club.
Yeah, I don't remember why I don't heal there. I think I was just trying to push through.
We not getting out, we not getting out, we not getting out. I'm not getting out of this monster club, baby. So show me love, let's give it up. Rifts in the floor, consume the conceit. Get down, snap off the high heels, retreat. There we go, all those beautiful puppeteers, because my trauma's down here too.
Yeah, so the mummies... The mummies and werewolves could have come from... Jeez Louise, I get absolutely walloped there. Yeah, you don't have iframes. If you don't get knocked down, you don't have iframes. But the werewolves and the mummies come from probably Dracula's memory. Same thing with the knights. The puppeteers are from James's memory. The female mummies are maybe from Jade. The angels are implied to be trapped down here by the void. So they're already there. And then the big behemoths are probably just new creations by the void. Okay. That was level 47. Yeah, there's 3 more levels.
I don't think I'm safe inside here anymore. I don't think I'm safe anywhere.
At very near to the very bottom of the abyss. Yeah, there's nowhere else you can go. It's everything's being thrown at you. Wow, actually, I didn't even think there was another meat packing level after the last one. I think this one's just... Yeah, no, this is definitely the last of the hostage levels. You can see it's a huge level though. This one is one of the largest levels. You have a lot of ground to cover in it actually. And it throws a lot at you. Absolutely love the ghoul stock at times like that. I remember actually when El Paso Elsewhere first sort of came out, I think it was one of the reviews that came out was like, Okay, the weapons aren't well balanced, and you can get through the game with pretty much just the strike breaker. In some ways, I think that's indicative. It's actually kind of true in a way. You can get through this game with just like the strike breaker. You have the strike breaker to deal with everything that's not a knight, and then you just use your stakes on knights. And it's not wrong, but it's also not wrong to say that just using the strike breaker would ignore the premise of the game. That is, because you have to reload weapons, and your reloads are not quick at all, you have to try and, if you're in a combat situation, you have to just quick switch to another weapon, pick something else, focus on clearing the encounter first before you reload. Also, different weapons for different purposes, but I mean, that's normal. Ghoul stock for range, shot, cavalry for up close. Your pistols are your backup, because after all, headshot is a headshot. Uzis for tight corners like this. Launchers for groups, or if you want to just like deal with knights. Like a launcher is fun against the puppeteer. It's not that great, mind you, but it's fun. Same thing with mollies. Probably the only weapon that's really bad is indeed the pistols that you start off with, but they are your first weapon in the game, and they're not the things that you should be relying on. Part of that is again why it makes the first couple of levels so much harder, until you get the cavalry. Once you get the cavalry and the strike breaker, you get a much easier time going through the levels. Everything else is kind of just a bonus.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think... just trying to remember. I think there's like maybe 4 more hostages in this level. But yeah, the biggest issue is just the amount of space you have to try and traverse. Like, it looks like there are 3 lights, but there's always usually one hostage hiding somewhere in an angle you can't see it. Yeah, see, there's 4 hostage lights. I'm kind of glad that the hostage levels end after this one. If the next level after this was also a hostage level, that would have been really bad. But the next level, I'm pretty sure, is very thematic. It really fits within the style of this game. This is another one of those levels that's added on as heck. And it's a shame.
Eat me. We're here.
Oh, no, no, no. There's the physics right there. So maybe it's shotgun dependent specifically. And I think maybe what causes it is... ooh, what would be a good explanation? Because it doesn't happen with pistols. Either it's an effect programmed specifically for the shotgun that creates the big you're going to fly around the place. Or it could be a physics related thing involving... There could be a physics thing with how the pellets hit if it's multiple pellets at once. Because a lot of the other weapons only hit one bullet at a time, but the shotgun's capable of hitting like... I think it's 6 pellets? I don't think it's 7.
I could collapse right here. How tragic would that be? Has the meat locker always been as hellish?
Yeah, I was just trying to remember which way I'm going. I think remind myself at this point, yeah, I do have to go through these hallways.
Oh, I'm still here. I have to living the story I tell myself, believing in it.
Actually, I'm trying to remember if this footage is before the Molotov change. I think it's after the Molotov change. Yeah, I think it's definitely after the Molly change. Alright, but that is that. Actually, that might have only been 3 hostages. No, it should have been 4.
You know,
Here we go.
when I got my 3-month chip, my sponsor Pearl took me out for ice cream. Like I was a kid. When we were in line, after ordering some frankly ill-advised flavor combinations, she held it out to me and she said, "Hey, if you lose this, we always have more." Then she let go and informed me that I'd be paying for the ice cream. That day meant everything. I don't know if you've ever been on a wagon, but falling off, it feels like tumbling down a well. There's just water and walls, worn completely smooth. It feels like you've lost the ability to be a different person again. So you go from 3 months between relapses to 2 days one day. And Pearl said that was okay. As long as I kept coming back for that chip again. Because they always had more. I remember the old heads who showed me how to handle a gun at a range I shouldn't have been at, telling me about werewolves in Vietnam, lighting a fire in me to search for the unbelievable. I'm thinking I had a lot of good days. For as long as I have left, I'm glad I can see them.
And that right there is the kicker of the message. It's very easy, very easy to focus on thinking, I just had the one day that was really good and every day was bad. But that's... It's very hard to get out of that mindset. If you can. And it's, you know, it's hard to do it on your own. Sometimes it requires help. A bit of change in perspective. But it's not... Every day is not a bad day. Some days just don't appear to be good days at first. And then it's only when you stop and look back. But I love this level. This level is absolutely my favorite. Now, I said before, that was the last of the indoor pyramid levels or ancient Egypt levels. Correct, this is an outdoor ancient Egypt level. But it's just the choice of the music. Like the way the level sets it up, like this is going to be a challenge. There's going to be a lot of work to be done here. But you're working towards that larger goal.
One more step forward, then another. Just one
I can't remember why I skipped that particular recorder. I don't think I skip it on a lot of the other levels, but for some reason on this one playthrough, I skip it, and I can't explain why.
That's some real shit. Gotcha.
Yeah, just the final gauntlet coming in here.
Oh yeah.
Room after room. And you can see, the fact that this is open and you can see exactly where you're going makes this level so good.
Am I gonna do it? Holy shit. I made it to a pyramid.
That's right. It's actually climbing up a pyramid. It's also a metaphor for climbing onwards and upwards out of a, moving on towards bigger and better
Just
things.
give me a little more. Just let me. For as long as it takes, please, just let me finish strong.
It's like making that goal, finally reaching it. And here we are, the very bottom of the abyss.
Are you still doing this?
I get one chance to be myself again. And there is a price opening the door to things that should stay in the dark. I don't get to pay it a second time.
I know. I know what it's like to want to go back to a different version of yourself. To idealize this point before when you were innocent. That person and that time and that place are gone, Dracula. You're still here. You get to choose.
I do, James.
Please don't make me blow your head off.
I'm not the devil. I'm just taking back what's mine. Wouldn't you?
All right, then.
Yep. In the end, she continues down that path. Yeah, so in terms of a boss fight, Dracula operates similarly to Jade, but is more aggressive about teleporting, both as a reaction and also as part of her offense.
I'm outside of myself watching the monster I love.
Yeah.
Danger in her.
After you knock down one of her health bars, she starts getting that ability to climb up to the walls and fire ranged attacks.
I'm watching my body pump bullets into wrists I held. wish we were screaming. Something, anything.
Yeah, depending on what attack she does,
I wish there was anything
you
left
can
to say.
probably spot the pattern. So when you see the, I guess I'll call it like the purple icon, that's when she's going to teleport from up from the platforms and try to strike you. Thankfully, unlike the battle with Jade, the battle with Dracula doesn't have ads. She doesn't summon reinforcements in. But it's also a lot harder to hit her with attacks. There I try to get the last hit with the stake, but miss it. There we are. Final boss done.
That's it.
Not quite though.
Man to a beast right in front of me. The only warmth that I see steams from his sleeve so bloodily. He's naked. See a black man pounding the pavement.
Yeah.
In the ground there's a bird.
And unlike Jade, she doesn't get weaker.
Thin-haired bastards craving sweat.
This is like really going at each other. But it's only the one health bar, that's it.
For himself. The goal of this age is to
And this track here in the background, I want wealth. The music is as much like a... It may not necessarily seem like it fits, but when you stop and listen to the music, it's much about like wanting to try and fulfill your desires. Whatever purpose that might be. But you don't have to stake her.
I would have been good at it, you bastard.
I know. Royalty suits you.
I really didn't think you'd save so many of them.
I just tried. It's nice to have it work for once. What is this?
It's my soul's blood. It's how you turn someone. It's how I win.
I don't want this.
But you will want it. Because you don't want to die. And you still want to be special. You'll have enough time to turn cruel and lonely. You fucking poor excuse for sake. I win. I'll see you in hell. When your own sins catch up with you.
And that's how she dies. Resenting a lack of body count. I want to throw it into the wall. I want to smash it into the floor and have my last sensation be the wet scratch of glass against flesh as I crush it into the ground. I want my vision to fade away as I reject her and everything she did to me. My lovely, tragic death. But she isn't the god. She was just a hurt person who did fucked up things. Until it became easier to define herself by the people she damaged than to change. She measured her impact in scars. It is terrifying to think of dying with all of these scars. Let alone living with them, trying with them, trying to be good. But I can. And I did. And I do. The sun's rising outside. Somewhere inside me, something responds to the approaching light. I'm 10 minutes sober. And scars fade. Fuck it.
And that is the ending, actually, of El Paso Elsewhere. Well, one of the two endings. The two endings are based on what you actually decide to do with hostages. Just as a reminder, when it comes to hostages, you can either save them or kill them. The ending that you get depends on whether you saved more hostages or killed more hostages. It doesn't actually change anything else with the game, but it perhaps you might consider the normal ending or the intended ending, don't know if I want to call it canon, but the intended ending as having saved hostages, resulting in what you see there. James is making the choice, yes, I will become a vampire, but I know how to move past the hurt, past the pain that the hurt causes, and live a better life. Because Dracula can't see everything. As a spoiler thing anyway, if you choose to go for a gameplay where you kill more hostages, Dracula breaks the actual vial. As like, I would have given this to you, but, you know, try to turn you into evil, but you're already enough of a monster. And you're going to die here with me. And James goes, that's perfectly fine. And so the ending is both of them dying at the bottom of the abyss. Now, this ending here, it's unclear whether James actually makes it out of the abyss, but that's not the point. It's about what happens with that vial. It's not even clear if James and Dracula are returned out of the void back into the hotel in El Paso at the end. And again, that doesn't matter. And the music right here, I believe this is the only song sung by this artist who's also the, I think, the voice actor for Dracula, or Janet Drake. Almost every other track actually with vocals is done by RJ Lake. So this is actually like a... I really wish I could have shown this one live, but I don't know. Maybe it's my PC. The new PC will probably not have had anywhere near the amount of issues. And it's really funny because I made it through the first 3 streams with only one issue that was sort of planned for. One issue that was planned for. One issue that was unplanned for, but it only affected how I did a single level. But then this time round, every other level decided to play up. It's like, oh... Trust me, as you can see from the footage, the whole slowdown issue is not normally a thing. But I think there's also probably one thing I would say about the game. You can go back to the game and play through a level that you have played in the past. But say you go back to your clear file at level 50, which is the final level in the game. You then go, oh, I want to replay level 49. If you play from level 49 and you're like, oh, I don't complete the level, you cannot go back then to level 50. You have to complete level 49. So it's not a true level replay function. And that's a bit of a shame. I think if the save file had allowed you to play like a stage select thing where you could play through any level and then bounce around to any other level, that would have been a really good touch. And it could have even been probably patched into the game afterwards, but it never was. Yeah, here comes the Patreon list. But the credits don't actually go for too much longer. I think, yeah, I do cut it off after the credits. Well, it's not quite how I had intended to show off the game, but it does about a reasonable enough job. Yeah, the level I was thinking of wasn't required. Yeah, level 41 doesn't really matter. There's nothing really important in level 41 except for the one possible cutscene where it's like, where James would say, killing you, it is saying to Dracula, killing you would be different to every other thing that he's killed. But that is slightly scarfed, but it's El Paso elsewhere. Despite all the problems, I still think it is really worth a shot. And this is not the screen that I wanted to use, but I think it'll do, so I'm about to cut things off right there. So, if you've watched along or you're watching after the fact, I do apologize for the scuff that has happened. Hopefully, in your own experience with this game, you don't have that issue. But, as always,